As we continue to talk about Jesus being in every story of the Bible, we're going to conclude this evening with Isaac. We had been talking about Isaac's name not being mentioned again from the time of Mount Calvary or Mount Moriah until the marriage supper or the wedding. But let's go on to Rebekah now, because Abraham's eldest servant, which we know is probably Eliezer, but when the Holy Spirit deliberately doesn't name a servant in the Old Testament, it is indicative that that servant is representative and type of the Holy Spirit. So the father, Abraham, gives all that we know all that he had was given to Isaac, but everything is in the servant's hands, all the riches. So he takes 10 camels with all these riches, and Abraham sends him back to his homeland. He's going back to Haran, about 500-mile journey. But he's saying, God, lead me to the right person. Who is going to be the bride for my master's son, Isaac? And then he said he came to the well, and the wells back then weren't like the kind where you have a bucket on a rope, but they were kind of dug out shallow, and you walked down into the well, sort of onto the banks of it. And so as the women were coming forth to get water, Eliezer said, God, show me who is the right one. And then he said, this will be your sign. The one when I say, will you give me a drink? If she says, I'll also water your camels, but we will be the one. So when he came, Rebekah came out. She was a fair young virgin. And when she came out, he said, would you give me a drink? So she let down her pitcher. Now the pitcher is like a clay pot. It holds probably 2.5 gallons maybe or so. And so she let it down with her hands. She walked down that embankment. She let down, got water, walked back up, gave some to the servant. But then she said, hey, I'll water your camels also. Now there's 10 camels. A camel will drink about 30 gallons of water each. So if she has a 2.5 gallon container, she's going to have to walk down there and bring it back up 120 times. That is a huge undertaking. That's why when he said, the one who says, I'll water your camels also, that's no light task. This young lady was willing to not only give him water, but to water the camels also. Then her brother came out, and Laban, and they invited him back to the house. When Laban saw the gold and the earring that he had given to Rebekah, he was interested. You know how Laban was. You'll see him later on in dealing with Jacob. So this whole story, you get the connection. We'll talk about who the players are with Laban, with Rebekah, but we want to be sensitive to the fact that the Holy Spirit is representative by this eldest servant, probably Eliezer. And we'll get into what happens next.